How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. How are you?
Great, man. What have we got here today?
It's my 05 Seat Leon Cupra LCR. It's, as you can see, one of the later models of its generation. This has the BAM 1.8 litre turbocharged engine running around in its current form. 280 horsepower, 310 foot-pounds of torque, and it's all I could ask for, really.
Okay, great. So standard, these come with 225 horsepower?
Exactly, yeah.
Right, and now you're close to 300.
Close to 300, reaching the limits on the current engine.
Okay.
But yeah,
I see. So with the KO4 turbo, is that standard or?
That's standard, yeah. That's standard from the
okay.
factory.
Because I think the Mark IV GTI had the same engine, but I'm pretty sure they came with a KO3.
Exactly.
So you're running, let's call it near 300 horsepower.
Yep.
What type of mods do you need to do to get there?
So, right, for the stage 2, as it is in its current form.
So that's Revo stage 2?
That's Revo stage 2. So it needs an intercooler to help cool the engine down. Right now it's running an AirTech intercooler.
Okay.
It's got all the uprated silicone pipes that would come with that. The standard pipes can't run the pressure.
Right, so you've got the silicone boost pipes, you've got the full exhaust system, intake, and other little engine bits. Let's have a look at the engine bay.
Let's do that.
So we know what we're working with. So if I'm correct, do these come with forged rods from factory?
They don't.
They don't. That was always the myth with these engines, that the BAM engines were always forged from factory.
Unfortunately, if it was, I'd be pushing a bit more power than this.
Right, okay, so we can see the silicone hoses there. What intake are you running?
It's running, right now, this is a JTEX cone filter, 80 mils, custom fabricated by the previous owner, not by myself.
I mean, you've got the cold air feed there as well.
Exactly, yeah, that's running down from the fog light.
Okay.
It's
very smart. Yeah, that's nice. And it sounds crazy from the inside as well.
Sounds good, so you can hear all the right noises.
Yeah. Okay, what exhaust are you running?
Well, it's running a Miltec exhaust. It's got a decat as well, so it's a turbo back exhaust.
Okay, that's cool. So you've got the decat, full exhaust, full intake. Do you need like a turbo elbow or anything?
Got a turbo elbow, and I've got an upgraded intake.
You got the hard pipe there.
The hard pipe.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. It's also running. Let's move over to suspension.
Yeah.
So it's currently sitting on AP coilovers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's sitting nice and low, scrape over every single bump. And to get the puppy to slow down, standard Brembo brakes.
Okay.
Four pots in the front, 2 in the rear. They do the job. They're great. I'm yet to track this, so once I do, hope they'll keep me.
I mean, you've got PS5s on there as well, right?
PS5s on there.
Yeah. So you've got some great tyres, good suspension. You've got some nice brakes on there too. What pads are you running?
Right now it's standard Brembo pads, but I've got some DS2500s coming in for that, so we'll see how we...
Okay. You got any other mods like on the inside or anything?
On the inside we're looking pretty stock. Unfortunately, from factory this didn't come with the Recaro seats.
Okay.
But these are fine as they are. One thing I really loved about the car was that cluster.
Okay.
The white dials, I don't know, there was something very nice about it. But yeah, no, this car is practical. You've got 4 doors, 5 seats. I mean,
yeah, there's a good amount of space in the back.
Can't go wrong. That's my normal driving position as well, so there's ample leg room.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't complain.
I mean, it's basically a Mark IV Golf underneath.
Basically a Mark IV Golf.
So, you know,
exactly,
reliable.
same chassis.
Has it been reliable?
It's been reliable. I've done the main maintenance, let's say. Yeah, it's had its cam belt changed at it was about 4,000 miles ago. Right now it's sitting on 109,000 miles.
Okay.
I bought it at around 100,000, so it's been 9,000 reliable miles. Yeah.
Just have a quick feel.
Yeah, get used to it.
It sounds so good. Yeah, man. This is what I love. This is. So see how you can just drag a front wheel drive car differently compared compared to
real
how I was driving Mars's car. Oof, yeah, the torque. Let's just do a second gear. So no traction control, power. So you got boosts from 2.5. Wow, yeah, this is a bit of me, Neil. This is a bit of me. The noises, they're just right. It feels a bit jacked. You see
it
how
grips well, doesn't it? It just hooks.
I was about to say it doesn't grip too well because of the conditions, right? So it's pulling me all over the road.
Yeah.
But I love it. I enjoy it. Even in third gear, I'm getting torque steered.
Yeah.
You know, with the Fiesta, I had more power than this, lighter, but the power's coming in more progressively. Whereas this, it's like the torque is a nice lump, and it feels old school. This is how cars used to be.
Exactly.
You know, like you get a nice lump of torque. Wow. The brakes are
doing their
brakes are good. I can really lean on it. Yeah.
Nice little pop as well. That's a flame out the back.
I've got a nice car now.
Appreciate it.
This is a car you really have to drive. Yeah, it's good. I'll be honest, I like the 130i,
Right.
and I understand you're potentially looking at buying one.
I am.
For me, you know, this is just, it's different. You know, it's like it's giving me that buzz.
Yeah.
And I think when I drove Mars's car, so the 130i. Because of the slightly adverse conditions, it was foggy, a bit greasy on the roads, I was a bit scared, to be honest. I've been driving front wheel drive and four wheel drive cars, so I know how to treat them on a road. His car, I felt like I wasn't experienced enough to exploit the car.
Yeah.
So it was more my fault than the car. In terms of raw driving dynamics, the BMW is probably the sharper tool. Although I do prefer, I think the steering in this is a bit heavier, but his steering's has more feedback.
Right. Yeah, this is just weight in my opinion.
Yeah, this is just weight, you know, but the sounds are right. Everything feels right in this.
Sounds amazing.
No traction control either. So, obviously it's a bit, you can hear it when it starts spinning up, you know. Very, very nice. I'm impressed. I knew I was going to like it. Just from, I've sat in the passenger seat, I've felt the way it pulls. But with a proper driver like me, wow. You know, this is a car. This is really a car. So here we've got the 6-speed manual. Just putting my foot down in third gear. It sounds amazing. The intake sounds great. But if we slow down for a second, you have to remember this is an LCR, so this is a run-out edition. It's not just the Cupra R, it's one of the later models. So what does that get you? It gets you the KO4 as standard, it gets you the Brembo brakes, and what else?
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah, with the other ones, the more basic models, you get smaller brakes, KO3 turbo. Unfortunately, we don't have a diff here, but the problem is, a lot of people will say an LSD improves the driving experience, pulls you through the bends, but honestly I quite enjoy the feeling of the car pulling me from side to side on the road. It just makes for more fun. Like, wow. Makes a nice pop there. The brake feel isn't the best when you're going fast. From a high-speed brake, it just feels like you're pressing on a brick. You can't push much further, and you're not sure if the car's actually slowing down. I'm not sure if it's because the brakes haven't warmed up, but it did scare me for a second. But it does feel nice, just enjoying the wave of torque. And just listening to that turbo as well. And then you get a nice bang from the rear. Okay, fine, it might not be the fastest car in the world, saying that just because, oh, we're recording a video and I've got the owner here. Genuinely, if it was my car, I would be happy with the power. And I think the noise alone just makes it feel a lot faster. Just the urgency of the turbo, riding that wave of torque, even enjoying it through the bends. And you have to realise this was a chassis designed in the 90s. I think the Mark IV GTI was released in 98.
Yep.
So it's a chassis released from that period, and it still feels great in my opinion. You know, in terms of driving dynamics, obviously, you know, you get your plastic materials, it's a bit rattly, you know, the materials are cheap, fine, it's a cheap car. You can pick these up, I'd say anywhere between
3 to 6.
3 to 6, yeah. Obviously you can get really shit ones for less, or, you know, concourse models for a bit more, but 3 to 6 on average. Do you mind me asking how much you paid for this one?
So I picked this up with, bearing in mind it's got all the right bits on it.
Yeah.
I picked it up for 3.7.
3.7, okay.
And it was on just over 100,000 miles.
Okay.
I think that's that's great value for money, especially for what you're getting. And touching on your earlier point, I know there's a lot of controversy with the chassis, but I feel like if it's lowered, if you've got all the right bits done to it, I feel like it can perform.
I think it does perform in this form right here, with the AP coilovers. And you have to remember, AP coilovers are actually, you know, they're not the most expensive, they're not Bilsteins, so they're quite entry-level coilovers, but for me, it's just about compliant enough. I'm getting nice feel through the steering wheel, it's inspiring confidence. If I had to make a choice between this and EP3, the 130i, and I won't mention the Mark V GTI because I don't really remember too much of how they drive. I drove one years ago, but I would choose this over the EP3 and 130i for a few reasons. The EP3, yes, the engine is what everyone talks about, but in my opinion it's a bit of a one-trick pony in standard form. VTEC kicks in at 6,000 RPM and it revs to about 8.2, so you've only got roughly 2,000 RPM to play with. With this, I'm riding the torque from about 2.5 to, I'll say it drops off past 5.5.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It feels a lot quicker than an EP3. Again, the other two are naturally aspirated cars. It costs so much more to get power out of them. This is just, it's giving me more for the money. But yeah, what a machine. How's MPG and stuff like that?
MPG, okay, so let's say we're doing a motorway right? I could get 37 miles per gallon out of it. Okay. Easy.
Yeah.
But city driving, looking at low 20s and high teens.
So about the same as the S3 as well, which is what you would expect from a performance car. We're sitting on 109,000 miles. I haven't seen any smoke come from the rear. The temperature gauge hasn't moved. You know, overall, I'd like to think this is quite a reliable car.
I haven't had any issues with it since I bought it, and I've had it just over a year now.
Yeah.
And those have been problem-free. Touch wood, it stays that way. But yeah, no, just need some regular maintenance.
Exactly.
That's about it.
And this car will crack 160 miles an hour. Yeah, tried and tested. I've seen it on camera. But yeah, it's definitely a reliable car and it's fun. I really, really like it. If I could pick one up for £3,000 and getting this level of performance and the smile on my face, yeah, you know what? I think it's actually a bit more fun than the S3.
Really?
Yeah, man, it is. Only because with the S3, I'd say it's a bit more laggy.
Right.
And then when boost kicks, you're doing such ridiculous speeds that you have to slow down straight away. Like this, maybe it's the roads. These are some good roads. I haven't taken the S3 here. But yeah, man, I'd say overall, if you're thinking of buying one of these, definitely go for it. It's my personal preference that I prefer this over an EP3 or 130i. You might find it different, but you've seen the way I've been able to exploit this car in a way that I haven't been able to with the others. It also just feels better put together than an EP3. I'd say the dashboard and the interior is probably a bit nicer in the EP3 just in terms of the design. It's quite a lot of black in here, but maybe, you know, everyone's got So yeah, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. RIP to the fallen.